Hello. I hope this has found you in divine timing. If you are watching this, I am recording this on the day of the Lionsgate portal. So may all this beautiful lion strength, Leo energy, sun vitality energy come and find you. So what I really wanted to talk about in this video is about learning about yourself. It is very important to be a detective, not just of life, but of yourself. It's so many of us that are walking around that we really don't know ourselves, and that's not our fault. We're put in school for 16, 15, 17 years, some of us more, and it's about the world around us, but they never teach us to learn about ourselves, and that can be so important. And a very useful tool is all about your natal chart. So you put in your birthday, where you were born, what time you were born, and it gives you a snapshot of where the planets were when you were born. So it's like what you were influenced by, what your life path, your journey is influenced by, what some of your emotions and some of your character qualities is influenced by. It's not correct to a T because, of course, people write it. You can look at multiple and compare. And it does not mean that everything in it is true, and it doesn't mean that it will always stay true. So you can grow to evolve out of some of these traits, but it just means that sometimes this is where your energy can, if you're not thinking about it, this is where your energy can kind of gravitate to. Do you gravitate towards being grumpy when you're sleepy? Do you gravitate towards being silly when you're sleepy? Sometimes the planets, your natal chart and things like that, your life path numbers, whether you're a manifestor, a generator, it can tell you things about your energy, and it can give you insights about who you are and how to operate. So I am a manifestor. I am an innovator. That was also in my chart, that I am an innovator. So I am a person who has a lot of visionary ideas. I am meant to change things. I have a lot of Aquarius in my chart. My Uranus, and I think my Mercury is in Uranus. No, my Mercury is in Leo. Look, because I'm very expressive and passionate. I think my Uranus is in Aquarius, which is crazy, right? Because I think Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So I have a lot of progressive thoughts, right? It just makes so much sense. With me also being a manifester, which means I'm very easily able to bring my ideas forth. Some people are builders. Some people are meant to build sustainability. So I can never figure out why, and I also have something in Virgo where I'm a perfectionist. My Lilith is in Virgo, where I really have a really hard time sometimes with following through, with staying disciplined, right? I think my Saturn is in something where it's like, okay, like you need to practice. Like my North Node, I think, is in Pisces. It's in something where it's like what I need to do is build, or maybe my North Node is in Virgo. I don't know. But basically, it's like I need to build practicality, stability. I need to work on attention to details and really being organized. So that kind of goes along with me being a manifestor, because I like to start projects and be like, bye. Kind of goes along with my Lilith being in Virgo, which is like perfectionists. A lot of perfectionists, they like to start things, but they don't like to finish it. They don't like to build through it, right? Because it has to be this vision in their mind, right? It can't have any deviation. So me learning that, I worked a lot on my stability. I worked a lot on my foundation. I worked a lot on following through, right? So now I can follow through. Now I'm ready for big projects. Now I'm ready to start something and to carry it into fruition, right? So I used to always be like, well, dang, I'm trying to make sure, but it's like you have to have that that follow through, that strength to follow through, that every day showing up in different ways. And then I had to learn that my energy burns out quickly, you know, because I have a lot of energy and I have to really take care of it. So I have to be the Queen of Pentacles. I have to really focus on self-care. I can't do videos every day. That's not me. I have to really follow my own blueprint, which is the innovator. I'm not one that's about to bully the algorithm. I will burn out. That is not for me. I have to put out things where my energy is the highest and trust that over time the momentum will build and boom, I'm going to break through, baby. So I'm only saying this to say as an example of you have to learn about you. So many times we don't know. You don't know what makes you tick. You don't know why you feel the way you do. I'm a Scorpio moon. I hate it when people ask me where I'm from. I feel like they being nosy. And I had that problem in nursing where, you know, a lot of the times I would catch an attitude. I would catch the attitude. I would end up isolating and cutting myself off from people because, you know, people, sometimes they were just being nosy, but sometimes that's how people try to get to know me. And I'm like, that's not the way to get to know me. Get to know me, you know, go deeper. Don't just ask me what my favorite color is. I don't like that. Like, that's stupid. Like, the little details will come along the way, but a lot of people start with those surface level details. And I get bored of it really quickly. So I just could never understand like what was going on until I finally looked at my chart and I was like, oh, that's why it irritates me. That's why I can't hold small, like I was never good at small talk. It would bore me. It would irritate me. I wouldn't even want to try. It would just like irritate my soul. Like, stop asking me about that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't give a like, because you're not ready to judge me because what? Okay, I'm from Baltimore City, and what does that mean? Yeah, it means some things, but like what? But what? Like, because if you judge me just being off of Baltimore City, you'll be totally wrong. So what? And I'm such a sweet, loving, and friendly person, and I would turn a lot of people off. My ascendant is Scorpio too, so I would present, even though I'm a Cancer sun, really bubbly, really outgoing, really like, oh my God, hey girl. I would turn a lot of people off. I would present like a bitch, and I would just never know why I was giving bitch energy, because that's because, you know, sometimes that's how I present. That's how people see me when they first meet me, and I just a little intimidating, intense, and I just either they love me or they hate me, and it was just like, oh, what is going on? Like, what is really going on? Like, but that's not, I'm like the sweetest person you'll ever meet. Like, really, like, what? Like, even if they didn't start with that, it would still be like this, either you love me or you hate me, and they just be like, So it can tell you things about your energy, things that you may not notice. Start to observe yourself. So as you start to learn these things, you know, it doesn't make them true. So observe yourself, see what is true, what isn't true, you know, and really start to study yourself, because then as you get to know yourself, it'll make life so much easier. You know, you'll know what you like, you'll know what you don't like, you'll know how to operate in the world, or while you operate, or it'll even help you with your confidence, because now I know, like, I'm a very polarizing individual. Like, I have other polarizing placements, whereas like people is just gonna like me or they're gonna hate me. Like, I garner very strong reactions. Like, I was watching Bob's Burgers, and it was the one about her birthday, and it was, they had went to all the places that she went with her kids, and it's either like people loved her or people couldn't stand her. And they said that it was like, but Linda, if you see Linda, she's singing and she's out there and she's so sweet, but she's also got her boundaries. But Like, she's the sweetest to her sister, but she also got her boundaries to other people. But she's always down to have fun, and she's such an out there individual. She's a great mom to her kids. And I was like, I was really like kind of vibing with Linda. She's very down to earth. And Bob was like, yeah, you have some really, like, you get very strong reactions from people. And I'm like, dang, I'm Linda. That's crazy. I wouldn't have thought that. Right? Like, just watching it for seasons on seasons, I wouldn't have thought that I was Linda. But it's like, dang, I'm a Linda. There's nothing wrong being a Linda. But you can kind of understand the world around you and how you fit in the world. And it makes things a lot easier. You won't second guess yourself. You won't demonize yourself. You can truly see yourself as this unique individual, because once you see how many aspects are inside of a natal chart, you're like, yeah, it is no way that people are the same. It is, you understand individuality. Mercury in this, and 12th house in this, and 3rd house in this, and 12th house in this. And yours may look the same, but when I was born, my Uranus and my Uranus in Aquarius was in retrograde. So I'm very old school, back to the ancient times, like, with it, where you might be very like, oh, AI, and I'm very much so like, all right, AI, but let's go back to the ancient ways. Let's go back to nature. Let's be in harmony with nature. So it's so crazy, like, how truly you get to learn, like, nobody's unique. Your chart may be like mine, but you were born in a different place. And you're a builder, and I'm a manifester. You're a generator, and I'm this, and it's just so crazy how things can be just so different, and one is not better than the other, because it's like, oh, I can manifest easily, but like, can you carry it out to fruition? Like, you might can manifest it, but it may not show up. You can manifest it spiritually, but can you manifest it physically? And that requires you to have some builder aspects. Builders are great, to build things, to have things into fruition. They may not have the ideas, but they can certainly, if they do get an idea, you best believe, they're gonna build that company. So that's why it's just so great. It's so great to learn about yourself, and I feel like not enough people tell you. And it's so important to learn about yourself, invest in yourself. Like, people say invest in yourself, invest your time, invest your education, learn. And I also want to tell this to my parents out there. It popped in my mind as I was thinking about doing this video. Because you can wonder, because I just did a video on like Exit 8 and your spiritual journey, and how to build momentum, how to trust yourself, how to turn, and how to like basically return to your most authentic self, how to say no what's not for you, and how to say yes to what is, and to move forward with faith and trust, right? And some of the blockages, right, that could be keeping us from momentum, that could be keeping us from our breakthroughs, that could be keeping us from learning our lessons, that could be keeping us in the loop. It's all about not knowing who we are. So I have a placement where sometimes I get a little restless, and this restlessness can make me start to think. I start to get really heavy in the head energy, also because I have a lot of placements that where I'm a very spiritual person, right? So it's a lot of energy up in here. So I have to make sure I'm always outside grounding, like the Queen of Pentacles as well. Self-care, grounding, deep breathing, right? And if I'm not paying attention, right, I can kind of go into the internal restless, and that can be misinterpreted, or it can start to turn into self-doubt, doubting my journey, right, where I'm supposed to be moving forward. All of a sudden I get restless, and I'm like, right before I get to my breakthrough, like I was saying in the last video, Exit 8, I'll turn around like, ooh, am I in the right place? I'm getting restless. Ooh. And then if you don't know that, which I wasn't aware, like I had to I've looked at my chart so many times, and keep re-looking at your chart, keep learning about yourself, because what may not have been true, or what you may not have noticed a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I downloaded in 2022. I can see the little file stamp on my Apple files. And it's 2026 now, and I'm still seeing my chart in different ways. And I'm like, oh, this makes more sense now. And right now, that restlessness popped up because I wanted to know why I was so prone to worry and self-doubt. Like, what was it? I was like, you know what? And then something popped in my head. I'm pretty sure Spirit put it in my head, a download, like, look at your natal chart and see what it is that kind of makes you gravitate towards worry and self-doubt. And that's this fact that I have a lot of, like, my Neptune, I think, is in Aquarius, you know, like, I'm very much so in the dreamy states. So there's a lot of energy around here, and sometimes if you don't regulate that energy, if you have energy in one place too much, it can make you stuck. It can turn into stagnant energy. So you have to continue to move that energy up and down, up and down. I have to continuously bring that energy down into my body and ground it, or it'll get stuck up there and it'll start to bzz, 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 and turn into worry, turn into self-doubt, turn into fear. So it's very important for me to ground. And I just realized that can help me continue on and not look back, because I know my path. There's no more obstacles. There's no more things where I have to turn back. I have to pivot. No, now is the time to just continue to move forward. I actually got that. I did my own tarot card reading. Now is the time to move forward. And if you don't know that about yourself, if you don't know that you're prone to restlessness and prone to doubt and prone to worry, and that all you need to do is ground yourself, you may really internalize that and block your blessings, because now you're doubting your blessings, you're doubting you, you're doubting. The momentum screeches to a halt, and boom, you back to zero. So if you can't catch it while you're slowing down, you know, through self-knowledge, then it can really, like, delay your blessings, prolong your spiritual journey in a way that it doesn't need to be. And sometimes some people end up giving up, you know, when it's like you are almost there so many times, but you just don't know yourself, you know, you're not observant of yourself. And there are tools out there to help us. I don't know if you don't know about it, and that's why a lot of people say, oh, I don't believe in astrology because I'm a Cancer sun, or I'm a Scorpio sun, and I don't really act like a Scorpio sun. Well, that's because your moon is how you really feel. So deep inside, like, I'm a Scorpio, baby, but outside, like, I am like, it's crazy. So when you read it, you'll realize, like, wait, you're more complex. There's a whole chart of complexities and nuances, and that's why a lot of people end up not believing in an astrology. But it's like you don't have the whole picture. You're just looking at a tiny percentage. How many? There's 12 plus your houses, plus your north node, your south node. Your south node is where you're good at, but you can't stay there because you'll get stuck. Your north node is how you move forward. Your Lilith, your midheaven, your Juno, you know, it's just so much stuff where it's like, oh my gosh. But just like you take the time to learn about, investing, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, how to blow up on YouTube. I did 4 years in college for nursing. Learn about yourself. You are your greatest investment. And this is how you hack. That's how you hack life. Hack your spiritual journey. Or at least it'll aid you. It'll give you the keys to open up the doors. So I hope this helps. Learn about your children. Learn about your babies. I'm going to go in and I'm going to look up their charts. And it can better help me to be a parent, because when I was young, it even said it in my chart. It was like, you know, I was a person who, I am very empathic. I feel other people's emotions, and that's something that I am aware of now, where I be wary when I go out in big groups. I be wary, you know, when I'm around certain people, negativity. Like, it's a lot of times where I'm in here and I'm surrounded by negativity, and I have to come outside and I'm like, whoa, my thoughts just totally changed. And, you know, you begin to pick up better on whether something's your energy or not. And it could get very deceptive too. So, you know, it's all about learning in that. And You know, as a child, it was saying like I needed protection and I needed a lot more nurturing for my confidence. And that was something that I didn't get. I actually got tore down. So once you see like, all right, like some of the life decisions I made, it was like when I didn't know, it was like, okay, well, no wonder, you know? It kind of helps you to be self-empathetic for yourself and to want to do better for the next generation. So this is where I leave you. Like, share, subscribe. I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. My goal, my intention is to help to make life easier, give you the wisdom to make life easier, to help you to heal. My ultimate goal is to bring us back to a state where we recognize that we are nature, so that we work with nature and not against it, so that we all thrive and flourish in the ways that the divine has always meant us to do. Because it's very possible. We all can be happy. We all can be abundant in our own ways. Not everybody wants to be rich and famous. A lot of people do. But everybody can have their own recognition in their own ways. Everybody can be living their dream life, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because everybody's dream life is specifically tailored and authentic to who they are, and it's very unique. And there's so much abundance in the world. You know, we're under the 8-8 portal. I'm under the 8-8 sun right now. It just shined down on me. And abundance, literally, is infinite. Okay, we're living in an infinite world. Don't let them tell you otherwise. I want to break the notion of world of limited resources, because that is not the world we live in. There is never the world we live in. Okay, there's so many resources. It's just, yeah. So this is where I leave you. I don't want to go too much into that, but like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I really appreciate it.